It's 1077 The Bone, baby Huey here, back at for a very special episode of In the Click. And joining me right now is the star of Monday Night Raw, WWE superstar, the Scottish Warrior, but most importantly, friend of the show, Drew McIntyre. How's it going, Drew?
Oh, it's going fantastic. The amount of times we've talked, this is the first time we've actually been able to see each other. So this is a new one, as many times we've spoken in the past.
Yeah, so I was telling coworkers, like, hey, I'm talking to Drew McIntyre. And he's like, again? I'm like, yeah, again. I love talking to Drew. And he's like, how many times? I said, 6 times. So since Royal Rumble 2020, WrestleMania, Hell in a Cell last year, TLC, your new book, and then, yeah, SummerSlam 2021.
I don't even know if I'm not even friend of the show anymore, family of the show.
Oh, I love that. I would love totally that. I mean, I know last time we talked, you said, once, things open up and WWE's back on the road, comes to the Bay Area, you said, let's do a sit-down interview in person. Yes. So I figure there's a good step right now. At least you and I can make a face recognition now. This is awesome.
Yes. It's like middle in the world right now. Like things are starting to get closer back to normal. This is another step, the final step. We do this in person.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of stuff to talk about. SummerSlam coming to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Saturday, August 21st. Tickets go on sale this Friday, June 18th through Ticketmaster. So, Drew, how are you feeling knowing that the biggest party of the summer for the first time ever is going to be held inside a football stadium, but also on a Saturday?
It's awesome. And it couldn't be any more perfect to have the biggest party of the year, never mind just the summer, in Las Vegas on a Saturday night, so everybody can sleep the next day. It's going to be incredible. We've got live fans back in attendance coming up on this big tour where we'll be traveling all across America, doing our live shows, our live super shows, our televised Raw and SmackDown, and the big one, the biggest one of the year, the one that's going to top even WrestleMania, is going to be SummerSlam in Allegiant Stadium, and I cannot wait for my entrance. That's the thing I'm most looking forward to, is to walk out there with my music kits and just look around and go, oh my goodness, this is so many people. Oh my goodness, we're back to normal.
Yeah, so last time we chatted, we talked about WrestleMania and how you and Bobby Lashley opened up the show on night 1. And so you were technically the first WWE superstar to walk out in front of fans for the very first time at that point, almost 15 months roughly.
1 year, 1 month, and 1 day.
Yeah, no one's counting here. But so what, I mean, I know it's a couple months away, but I'm guessing you want to try to up your entrance at SummerSlam, because I think a lot of people, we're all kind of anticipating it's almost going to be like a WrestleMania 2.0 as far as the size of it all.
Yeah, and it is. I say like WrestleMania was cool to have this year with a limited capacity. Mm-hmm. It was incredible to be the first person to walk out and just see fans, to see 25,000 people there. Really took my breath away. If you look at the images online, I'm almost in tears, really emotional. People in the crowd are literally crying. It was such a cool moment. But yeah, this is going to be twice as big, if not bigger. It's such an incredible event. It's signifying that WWE is officially back, that the world is officially back. It's going to be such a party inside Allegiant Stadium. And then it's up to you if you want to keep the party going. We're in freaking Vegas. It never closes. This is going to be a fun weekend. And if you want to get real crazy, travel yourself to San Diego on Monday for Raw. It ain't too far away. It's a short flight, and it's a lovely place too.
Absolutely. I'm trying to plan out my schedule. So living here in the Bay Area, Vegas, hour flight. So I'm tempted to kind of fly out there and just follow you guys around for a bit. So it's I'm definitely looking forward to that. But as you mentioned, WWE is going back on the road starting Friday, July 16th for SmackDown, Money in the Bank, July 18th. As I can imagine, you're probably most excited to see the WWE Universe in person again. I cannot wait to see you guys, just the pop that you're all going to get from that crowd. But, listen, we know that you guys been performing inside the Performance Center, and then in August, you switched over to the Thunderdome for up until this point. Let's look back at just your time in the Thunderdome. How do you think you improved as a performer, and what performance elements of the Thunderdome that you'll take with you once fans return?
I think it was a few things for everybody. When it came to the Performance Center, we had no fans in there, and you could see and hear every little thing that was going on. I think we realized, a few of our performers certainly realized they had to tighten up their game in the ring if they weren't applying the holds correctly, if their strikes weren't competent enough, it became very obvious. We've got sophisticated audience these days. They watch UFC, they watch boxing. Don't throw it in their face if you can't apply the holds correctly. And people really tightened up their game from that perspective. When it came to the interviews and the microphone, having nobody there before we got to the Thunderdome, I found, this is a really cool opportunity to just talk the way I'm talking right now. Like generally when you have a live crowd, you feel the urge to get loud and play with them and start talking. Yeah, let's do this thing. And you can't really settle yourself down and tell a story and really get in the weeds with the storylines because, you've got a live crowd there that are waiting to come and do something exciting. I want to do back and forth here. So you really had an opportunity to have essentially monologues to really develop your character, show who you were on a deeper level. I tried to maximize that. A lot of our superstars did. Nobody more than Roman Reigns. He really developed this character of Tribal Chief during this time in a way that he could not possibly have done with a live crowd shouting the entire time. So because of this time period, our fans who come back live are really going to know a lot of our characters on a much deeper level. I'm excited about that. And I'm going to make a point, like, don't, just because everyone's in the building, don't get crazy and just start shouting the entire time. Like, I really do want to stay calm, stay relaxed, be in the moment, and take them on a ride rather than being at a 10 the entire time. And it's so hard for me to do because I get so excited. I've got so much adrenaline. Like, this is what I love to do when I hear a loud crowd. I want to be at 10 the whole time, but I am going to remember, come on, Drew, take them on a ride. Don't just be at 10 the whole time or you burn them out eventually.
Yeah. So just talking about your character and just, how you've been able to evolve over the last year plus, I really would love to get your thoughts going back to your appearance on Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions, which you can watch on Peacock. I love seeing how the two of you interact, and there were points that I felt like Steve was really analyzing, different points in your career, but also giving you some really good feedback. So I'm just curious, once the cameras were off, did Steve give you any extra advice that you're able to apply to your career?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't stop talking the entire time. We'd never had a real conversation ever prior to that day aside, hello, sir, I'm Drew. Hey, I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yes, I know you are. That's about as much as we talked to each other prior. Okay. And then as soon as I got there, it was clear, one, he's such a professional. He does his research. He knew me inside and out. But two, he's like, I think, I know I'm passionate about the industry. I think everyone knows that about me, but Steve is exactly the same. Like, he lives, breathes wrestling, always has, still does to this day. When you get the two of us together and we realized how similar we were in that way, we were talking to the point that the guys in the cameras were like, hey, excuse me, Steve and Drew, can you stop giving away all the stuff that's going to be good to be on camera? Like, you've all just done like an hour's worth of stuff that would have been great for everyone else to watch at home. Yeah. So we had to get ourselves on camera and then get going. And we talked again for about 4 hours probably on camera, and then continued afterwards, just non-stop banter. Like, we never stopped once, aside, Steve's a lot older, he had to go to the toilet a few times. Aside, I'm only joking. Aside that, we never stopped talking the entire time, and it got to the point where, my guys were like, Drew, you've got to get a flight, you've got an appearance in the morning on the East Coast. I was on the West Coast, because I was like, man, I'm just going to stay. And like, no, you got to make this appearance. I was like, damn. So I literally had to get ripped away from him, or we would have just talked to goodness know what time in the morning.
Yeah. So looking back on the last 15 months plus of your career, you've been WWE champion twice. Fingers crossed that you'll get it again this coming Sunday from Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell, which we'll talk about that in a second. But just looking back at the history of legendary WWE champions, all of them had that defining opponent that together they put on these banger matches that pushed each other. So, for example, Austin and Rock, Hogan, if you want to say Macho Man, or Andre, Brett and Shawn. So, and you had some great matches, with Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, but also WrestleMania a couple years ago, AJ Styles, Randy Orton. If you had to pick one, who would be your defining opponent or feud that really set for your legacy as WWE champion?
I mean, I really enjoyed everything and some of the people you mentioned there, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing with Lashley. The stuff I did with Lashley and Sheamus, I think we really, showed everybody that heavyweights can still be on top of the card, because it was always the case in the past and kind of changed over the past few years. But you got some big physical, athletic, modern heavyweights like myself, Lashley and Sheamus. The matches we all kind of had together, I think, really showed what the modern heavyweight's capable of, and I've loved every second of that. But for me, defining wise as a champion, it was definitely the Randy Orton feud. And that was the one where I won the title, and I wrestled, I believe, with Dolph initially, and a couple of other opponents. But I could see like Randy Orton, like he's doing the best work of his career. He's on fire. He's always been great, but he's on fire as a character. He's on fire in the ring. He's at a different level from everyone else. He's my Joker if I'm the Batman. And when I get the chance to be across from Randy Orton, I'm going to be able to show if I can keep up with him on the microphone, in the ring. And if I can't, I don't belong on top. I don't belong as WWE champion. And that was like a time period, a 4-month time period where I really got to learn, but I also got to step up and show that I belonged and kind of cemented myself as a top level performer.
Yeah, I love hearing that. I definitely agree with you on that one. So looking ahead, though, this Sunday, Hell in a Cell streaming live on Peacock, and you're challenging Bobby Lashley to get back, hopefully, the WWE Championship inside Hell in a Cell, with the stipulation that this will be your last chance to go after Bobby Lashley for the championship. So do you feel you have an advantage since you had a Hell in a Cell match last year against Randy Orton? What did you learn from that match last year with Randy Orton?
I learned that it hurts, and that no matter how many times people tell you, like, you'll never be the same after Hell in a Cell. I thought it was just a catchy thing you said on TV, but it's true. I was like, oh man, I should have listened prior. I was like, yeah, cool. That's just like a selling tagline for the Cell match to promote it for people. I was like, no, it's true. Like, I've been watching it my whole life, and as a kid, I always said, man, I want to be like, take that Mick Foley bump, or at least the Shawn Michaels bump. One day I'll be totally willing to do that. Then you start wrestling for many years like I have, and you go, man, regular falls in the ring hurt. maybe I don't want to do that. And also I'm like 6'5", 270, legit. Maybe not the wisest thing, but nonetheless, I had the match with Randy. We were very physical in there. Everything didn't feel good. It was hopefully fun to watch for the fans. And I did take that fall halfway off the cell through a table, and there's no stunt tables. There's no faking gravity. It was the worst fall of my whole career. I got whiplash that I still feel sometimes to this day. I bit through my tongue. It looked like a little snake's tongue, like how badly I bit through. If you remember, I was lying there spitting out blood. People were worried it was internal for a second, but I bit through my tongue so violently. And that caused the finish of the match. So I'm willing to go through all that again, this time in Hell in a Cell. And I know what to expect, pain. Lashley, on the other hand, doesn't know what to expect. He's been inside cages before. He's fought many MMA fights. This is a little bit different. I've got every weapon at our disposal underneath that ring. I can get very creative when it comes to violence. I'm going to get very creative with every toy at my disposal. And if we end up outside that thing, you better not end up top of that cell, because this time I ain't getting off it. It'll be someone else.
Absolutely. So listen, Drew, I know it's a busy day for you, doing a lot of press promoting SummerSlam. I just got to ask you real quick. Big week this week for NXT. We saw the return of Samoa Joe. I'm just curious what your thoughts are seeing Samoa Joe back on NXT.
Same as everyone else. Excited. I was watching NXT like everybody else, and I was wondering where William Regal was going with the promo. He's somebody I've known a long time. He's been a bit of a mentor to me, big part of why I'm back in WWE. I used to travel with him. I have some of my original matches with him when I was still learning, when I was 22. So to see him like emotional like that, which I've never seen before, I was like, wow, this is different. What's going on here? And then obviously Cross came out, and a good opportunity for him to, be a real bad guy and get some heat, which is always good. We saw that later with Eli Drake, or Ellie Knight, who works as now. It's nice to see heels get some heat. So that was cool to see that interaction there. And then the big surprise, seeing Samoa Joe come out, that was a really exciting segment. And Joe throughout the rest of the show, that's a really cool addition to NXT, and something I'm looking forward to see where it progresses to.
Yeah, and also special shout out Ted DiBiase taking that bump in the ring. I was blown away.
Still take flatbacks better than anyone else,
dude.
Awesome.
Oh my god, perfect form. I was so happy. I popped for that as well.
Me too.
But listen, Drew, like I said, I know it's a busy day, so just want to remind everyone: SummerSlam coming to Las Vegas Saturday, August 21st at Allegiant Stadium. Tickets go on sale tomorrow through Ticketmaster. Get your tickets. I'm gonna try to get out there myself. Hell in a Cell this Sunday, live on Peacock. Of course, you can catch Drew every Monday Night Raw on the USA Network, and get his book, A Chosen Destiny, My Story. It's great. Oh, look, he's got it right there. Perfect.
Just so happens to be by my side at all times.
Awesome. I love that.
Along with my Slammy.
That's awesome. Beautiful. And then
Grab the other slammy, but I've only got two hands.
and then, oh, that's so great. And then, of course, yeah, SummerSlam this year. Cannot wait to see you guys back on the road. Of course, WWE.com for all that info as well. Drew, listen, thank you so much for taking the time. It's great to actually, interact with each other via Zoom.
Thank you, buddy. Always appreciate it. It's always a fun chat. And like we said in the beginning, we're going to do this in person eventually, and it's going to be soon.
Yes.
Very close to normal, and SummerSlam is going to be officially, things are back to normal, officially back in business.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there. If you have some time, I know SummerSlam is going to be a busy weekend for everyone. So if I can make it out there, and if we have some free time, I'd love to chat in person as well. So thank you for always being the most awesome guest ever. Good luck with everything, and congrats on all your success and everything, especially this current run that you're on with WWE. I can't thank you enough for all the entertainment.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you, buddy. And again, I'll see you in the future, and I'll see everybody in Las freaking Vegas.
Awesome. Thank you,
Drew. Take care, bro. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.